In this city that we have in the east of the island, we're going to Rio Grande. It takes close to 1 hour. Okay, so you will see now many of Puerto Rico, and I will bring to you many information about the island. So I hope that you enjoy it. So one more time, my name is Clemente, and welcome to Puerto Rico. Let's begin.
Thank you.
The big building on the left, Hacienda Department, is where we pay our income tax. every 15, no more late than that. Okay friends, if you look to the other side of the bay, we have the other side of San Juan, and close to the coast you will see this zone of small hills of limestone that burned 60 million years ago, but bigger mountains behind are mountains of volcanic rock, and that zone is older because born 135 million years old. So the age of Puerto Rico, we can say that it's a baby. If you compare it to the age of the world, that is 4 billions. Imagine that the world was created in 24 hours, Puerto Rico may be born in the last 5 seconds, just to give you, a nice comparison. So we have two zones of mountains. The volcanic rock mountains is divided in 3 different zones: east, center, and south. And in the north we have these zones on hill of limestone. From the hill of limestone, the Spaniards take all the rocks that they need to build the fortification they will have here in Old San Juan.
You know how many liters are in a gallon? 3.8. Gas here is actually not that bad.
Carolina is known as Land of Giants. Land of Giants because here born Felipe Virriel, that was the tallest Puerto Rican in our history, and becomes the tallest man in the world when he broke a World Guinness record in the 1940s, when he reached the 8 feet 2 inches. He has this condition, and scientists then, once they identified his disease, he stopped his uninterrupted growing island. Christopher Columbus discovered the island of Puerto Rico in his second voyage on November 19 in 1493, and he named the island of Puerto Rico as San John the Baptist, San Juan Bautista. San Juan was the first name of the big island, San Juan.
30% chance.
He stayed on the island around 2 days, then he returned to La Española that he discovered in the first voyage. La Española is Dominican Republic and Haiti together. He left some people there, so he needs to return as soon as possible. When he returned to La Española, their men were dead, killed by the native from La Española, but that's another story. Let's return to Puerto Rico. The thing is that 15 years later, we have a lieutenant with the name of Juan Ponce de Leon that comes with Columbus in that second voyage and was established in La Española. And Juan Ponce de Leon, the same one that goes to Florida then to looking for the pound and the jute, he moved to Puerto Rico in the year 1508, and he began the colonization of the island and making the first establishment right in the other side of the bay. Today the city of Guaynabo, but the first name of that town was Caparra. That's why when you go to the city of Guaynabo, that is part of the metro area, Guaynabo is known as the first capital of Puerto Rico because it's where Juan Ponce de Leon founded the first town in the island, the town of Caparra. And Juan Ponce de Leon stayed there from 1508 to 1521. In 1521, they moved from Guaynabo, or Caparra in that moment, to the island. And the same port that he used today for the cruise ship, the harbor of San Juan, the San Juan Bay, was the same one that were used by Juan Ponce de Leon since the foundation of the islet in 1521, and with the name of the rich port. And what is today Old San Juan in the past was the city of the rich port. So the name today of the island came from the original name of the base of San Juan. And then through the years, the names were switched. The big island becomes San Juan, and the islet becomes, the big island becomes rich port, and the islet becomes San Juan. It's part of the metro area, has a population of 150,000 inhabitants, and not only has as their giants, the giant of Carolina and the first governor, Puerto Rican governor Jesus Pinheiro, also has a very important giant in baseball that maybe some of you will remember him, because also is a giant in Pittsburgh, the number 21 of the part of Pittsburgh, Roberto Clemente, born in this city and becomes the most famous or important baseball player in Puerto Rico. And for some of you that don't know who was Roberto Clemente, he played 18 seasons with the part of Pittsburgh. You go to Pittsburgh, many people there will talk about Roberto Clemente. He's an idol there. And he reached the 3,000 hit in his last game. His last hit was the hit 3,000. The number 11 play in the history of the Major League, and the first Puerto Rican to do that is still today. Mangrove forest, we have temperate rainforest, and only one tropical rainforest, El Yunque. El Yunque is protected by the Department of Agriculture United States. The rest of the forest of Puerto Rico by the Department of Natural Resources in the island. The main reason to have a tropical rainforest, well, first we need a location. One of the principal reasons. When Puerto Rico has the location, Puerto Rico is in the Tropic of Cancer below the equator. So we have in the position, in the location, to have a tropical rainforest. The other reason that we need is the rain. Because El Yunque receives enough rain to be qualified to be a tropical rainforest. Imagine a temperate rainforest in Puerto Rico receives between 60 to 80 inches of rain every year. A temperate rainforest. El Yunque, a tropical rainforest, El Yunque receives around 240 inches of rain every year. The average of Puerto Rico is 40 inches of rain. El Yunque receives 200 inches more every year of rain than the average of the island. Puerto Rican flag, big one, all that has to be changed. But the Puerto Rican flag, now that you see that one, it has a more version there in the roof. Puerto Rican flag, born in 1895 when a group of Puerto Ricans joined the Cuban Revolutionary Party looking for the dependency against Spain. Cuba and Puerto Rico were the last two remaining colonies under Spain in the Caribbean in that year, and on support, this group of Puerto Ricans begins to use the flag of Cuba with the colors inverted, and becomes a popular one, and becomes the flag that the Puerto Rican wants to use, it will become free. That never happened because all the tries to become free failed. And then comes the Hispanic-American War 3 years later in 1898, and then under the new government of the United States, the use of that flag was banned until the Constitution of Puerto Rico in 1952. In our Constitution, now that we are a Commonwealth, now we have the right to use a flag, and the government chooses that flag and becomes official since then, but with a change. What is the change? The colors of the Puerto Rican flag, the original one, are the same color of the Cuban flag, but inverted. And the blue of the Cuban flag is royal blue. But was changed to dark blue to be more look-alike to the American flag. So you see different flag of Puerto Rico with different blue. It's not because it was printed in another industry with another blue, no. That represents something. The flag of the dark blue triangle is the flag of the Constitution, and the flag with the royal blue triangle is the flag that born in 1995 and becomes official in 1995. When we celebrated the 100 years of the flag of Puerto Rico, the government changed the flag and proclaimed official the original one again. But we use both of them at the same time. I hate this. Sorry. The thing is that, but it's good when you see when we have this diversity, where you can enjoy a tropical rainforest in the morning, and then in 3 hours you can go to the other side of Puerto Rico and go to a dry forest in the city of Guanica and enjoy a tropical rainforest with 240 inches of rain here, and go to the dry forest of Guanica that receive only 20 inches of rain every year in a short period of time. Two ecosystems with different flora and different fauna. That in the continent will be more difficult. Now you can see how the weather begins to change when we get more closer to these mountains. And of course, maybe when it's the first time here in Puerto Rico, maybe you don't have, what to compare to a Yunque. But once we pass through the Tabonoco forest, pay attention to the detail. Who looks like the red gingers on the right, the pink one on the left. We have many helicornias right now in this area, but it's not the season. That's why we don't have the chance to see the helicornias right now blooming. But you will see many different types of ferns. More than 150 species of ferns we have in El Yunque. More than 240 species of trees. Around 80 are native and about 30 endemic. Native trees that was here before the discovery, and endemic trees that are only from Puerto Rico, and exotics that was introduced to the island. Check out the plantains, one of the favorites of the Puerto Ricans. We love the plantains. This is one of the most demanded products in Puerto Rico. That sometimes we need a plantain exported from other countries, just like from Dominican Republic, to fit the needs of the Puerto Rican. In the ground, the plant with the big leaf is the elephant ear plant, and the breadfruit tree, the tree behind, the big tree, the royal palm of Puerto Rico. Okay, and right there, in the right hand side, we have the elevated walkway, and at the end, you will be there in the visitor center. Also, you can enjoy a trail. If you want to walk a little bit inside the rainforest, you have to look between the red gingers, and you will see the sign of the trail. The trail is a circle. You can do the whole trail in 20 minutes, but we don't recommend to do the trail completely. Walk a little bit to enjoy more minutes in the visitor center, because we're gonna have here around 45 minutes, okay? And in the main level, you will find the restrooms, a theater. Try to check.
It's what? Trina, giant tree fern. Hello, so grande. Փաստորեն բվերը կան, հաստը։ Այսինքն մեծ անտարը, ով ինչ հասես չի լինի։ Վախենալու է նույնիսկ, գիտես։ Նայ։ Այս կողմից կա։ Այս տառն եմ շատ սիրում, կարելի է նկարվել իսկապես։
National flower of Jamaica, and it's family of the national flower of Puerto Rico. The national flower of Puerto Rico is maga, and it's more pink and a little bit more big and rounded than this one, okay? But maho that came from Cuba and Jamaica is spread all around the Caribbean and also in islands just like Hawaii in the Pacific, okay? Maho. The flowers, we can pass around if you want, okay? As you see, it's more fish, and something like to give beautiful hints, say that it's the national tree of Puerto Rico. I'm honest, I give you the truth, okay? That's the national flower of Jamaica. We don't have here in this area the national flower of Puerto Rico, okay? So enjoy the majo. As I said before, it's one of the most important products in Puerto Rico. The quality of the coffee is better if the coffee plant is under the shade of the tree. In our coffee plantation, we used to have many trees that makes a big shade like this one. And of course, it's one of the products that we export on Puerto Rico. And one more time, if you love coffee, don't leave Puerto Rico without trying a nice coffee in any coffee shop in Sán Juan. The next tree on the other side, the big one with the big roots, is Kapok. Kapok, silk cotton tree in Puerto Rico known as ceiba. It's the national tree of Puerto Rico. It's not from Puerto Rico. It's native. Was here before the discovery, but not exclusive of the island. It's coming in the Caribbean in Central America also. That one's the baby you compare to one that we have in the south of Puerto Rico, in the city of Ponce, one that has 800 years old. That is used. It's like a 20 times bigger than that one. You can identify that it's young or not when you see many thorns around the branches in the trunk. When it's older, they begin to lose all the thorns. Okay, so that one still have many thorns, so it's a young one. And of course, the size of the roots when it's older is huge. One of the biggest beautiful things that this tree has. Okay, all the elephant ear plants on the ground on the right. It's an edible root that we enjoy the same way of the potato, with the difference that it's one of the favorites, especially when we eat fish. And smash, especially. We love smash with olive oil, and garlic and all that. It was the food of the first slaves in Puerto Rico. It came from Africa. That's why the name of those in Puerto Rico, malanga, yautía, some African words. And today, okay, exotic. Yeah. Of course, not from the ground for the tree, because from the ground a rat can bite one of them. It could be very difficult situation for us. Check out the right, the sugar cane that was introduced to Puerto Rico by the Spaniards, and because the most important crop for many generations. Like I mentioned before, was the most important industry in the island. That one, let me try to pick a leaf of that one, because I want that you feel that how strong it does leaf.
Like scratched it.
As you see, that's another street that was used in the past by the Spaniards when they don't have paper to make notes on it, to use the lift, also to make gambling cars. Okay, when you ride on the lift, stay there for years. And okay, when you touch the lift, you can see that it's a very strong one, and it's a dry one. Imagine how strong it is when it's green on the tree. Walmami, the English name in Puerto Rico, is known as coupe. Big part of the tree of the native tree of Puerto Rico use the Taino name, the native name of that. Just like this one, Hagüey. Hagüey is an endemic tree of Puerto Rico, endemic, and it's very similar to the rubber tree. In the next corner, we have a tree of Yagrumo. You can see the big leaf, and one side of the leaf is white and the other side of the leaf is green. That's why in Puerto Rico it's known as the politician tree, because it has double face, the same as the politicians. The thing is that it's the water paint. Our Tainos, they used to think from the distance that we have many of these trees. They think that the rain is coming when the tree looks more white and green. Usually before the rain, the wind change the direction and begin to hit the leaf to the white side. So that was the water paint. And the wood of that tree is used in Puerto Rico to make our national instrument, that is el cuatro, our Puerto Rican Spanish guitar. The cookies. Okay, friends, we have 15 minutes, okay, to enjoy it.
I have the other one, but painted
This tree that maybe you'll see all around the island, not only in the rainforest, the tree with the orange flower that we see all around the road is African tulip, Tulipan africano. And in Puerto Rico, let me. Okay. Listen. Okay. And in Puerto Rico is another tree that we used to name it in a funny way. In Puerto Rico, it's known as meaito, and meaito is a fun way that our kids used to call the urine. Let me explain you why. The water of rain get inside the flower because in the upside position the flower is like a cup, as you see. And when, especially in the night, when some of the flowers close with the water inside, that's the moment that the kids in the past took the flower and begin to squeeze them, using this side like a trigger, and they use a water gun against their friend. Well, the water inside of the flower for a long period of time begin to smell like urine, and that's why the kids begin to call it the African pea tree. Okay, but it's African tulip in very invasive, as you see that we have many of them all around the island. Okay, let's go to Mameyes River. The humidity that we have here, the feeling sensation past the 100. So it's a very hot summer in Puerto Rico. The thing is that Christmas in Puerto Rico begins after the Thanksgiving Day. In Puerto Rico we celebrate all the national holidays with the Black Friday, but ends in the third week of January. In the third week of January. Especially with the San Sebastian Street Festival, that in this case this year we're going to celebrate this weekend. At the end of that festival, that we're supposed to receive between Thursday and Sunday 500,000 visitors. It's the Puerto Rican Mardi Gras, we can say something like that. Okay, it's a big festival that big part of the population of Puerto Rico assists to this festival in any day, and also to because people are outside, many visitors, many people, especially that we have like 4 million people in Puerto Rico, and there is 4 million more in the United States, and practically big part of the Puerto Ricans that live in the United States come to Puerto Rico in this season, in Christmas, and that's why also we have more visits in that type of activities, because in Puerto Rico it's a good way to celebrate Christmas. We celebrate many holidays here: the Christmas Day, December 25, the New Year Eve, in January 6th, the Trickens Day, the Epiphany, then the Octavitas, that is 8 days to make parrandas, a Spanish tradition, and for last the San Sebastian Street Festival in Old San Juan.